Hey guys! So today we are going to talk about the very taboo topic of cosmetic surgeries. I'm going to tell you every kind of cosmetic surgery, procedure, treatment that I've ever had. That way it's just all out there, out in the open, because I think it's crazy that, so many of us think about doing things, we want to do things, we look into doing things, and then if we do it, we feel like we need to keep it a secret. It's all hush-hush, and it's just, why not just get it out in the open? I've told you guys I'm going to be real and truthful, so I thought this would be a good way, since we're in that flow of opening the doors and telling you things about my life. I've obviously had a breast augmentation, but I have a confession that I will save for the end on that one. But as far as cosmetic surgeries, procedures, or treatments go, if there's something that you guys don't like about yourselves and you can fix it, why not fix it? If you're doing it for yourself and it's for all the right reasons and it's going to make yourself feel better, then, do it. But likewise, if you're getting told to do something by someone like your partner and it's not something that you want to do, then don't do it. Always do it because it's what you want, not what somebody else wants, and then do not do it because somebody's telling you not to. That's just crazy. We all need to be happy with ourselves. We all strive for perfection. I also wanted to get this video out there because I've had a few people message me saying that they've always thought that I had such a perfect life and that it's so hard to meet my standards or just the bar that I've raised or whatever it is. And I'm telling you guys, I know you've seen my last video, so you obviously know my life hasn't been perfect, but I've struggled with so many of my own imperfections and I have my own body issues and I have done things to try to make myself feel better. So I'm just gonna let you know everything that I have done. So give yourself a break because nobody is perfect and I'm certainly far from perfect. So I thought I would start off with talking about fillers and Botox. I know nobody wants to ever talk about fillers and Botox, even though so many people either want to do it, or look into doing it. So I had my very first fillers done when I was 18. I know, crazy, right? I so wanted to get my boobs done, and my parents were so against me doing them because I was too young. So they tried to talk me into an alternative, and they said if I wanted to play with something like a filler, because it was temporary, they last not more than 9 months if you're lucky, that why don't I experiment with that? Because they knew I was so adamant, I was an adult, I was going to figure out a way to try something. And Hollywood swoops you in. I'm sure so many girls are with me. You watch the Kardashians, any reality TV show, you're looking at the red carpet and the glam, and it's so not realistic, but it does mess with our heads, and it's crazy, but it does. So I have tried fillers of my laugh lines and my chin line, and I've probably done it 7 or 8 times over the years. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, it's something that lasts 9 months. I've never kept up with doing it every 9 months, but I have tried fillers. They're not pain-free at all. Let me tell you, ouch, they hurt. I'm a big suck. I always get freezing whenever I do it. I would like to keep up with doing it every 9 months, but it's just you dread that appointment. So everybody out there, I've done fillers. Botox. Krista, if you're watching this, you're going to want to smack me from across the computer or your phone or wherever you're watching this from. I just tried Botox for the very first time like a week and a half ago. I did a little bit on my forehead and a little bit around my eyes, and I love it. I told her I wanted to go really subtle. I didn't want anything crazy where it couldn't make facial expressions, and you see people that are just, they can't move, and it's crazy. So I told her I was interested. I've been thinking about it for 5 years. I'm 30. It's time to try it out. And it didn't hurt at all. It was a really odd sensation. I think I have lipstick on my teeth. Give me 1 second. I did. Okay, so Botox. It was a really weird sensation. It was almost like you could feel like this prickling sensation happening, but it wasn't like needles, it wasn't like you're being injected or anything. It was almost like there's like a little zap, little zap, little zap, and you were done. You didn't even need freezing. So it's actually something I really liked, and I will be doing Botox again. I can't believe I've debated about it for the last 5 years, and I've been so scared to try it. But there you have it. I have given Botox a go, and I loved it, and I will be doing it again. Lip fillers, I have tried only about 3 times in my life. My boys are fighting over something. Lip fillers I've done, I think 3 times now. They hurt like hell. Like, I mean, those are agonizing. I have tried topical ointment for freezing, right to what they use at the dentist office where they freeze the inside of your mouth. And I mean, there's no pain-free way to do your lips. You also have to be really careful. You don't want to ever overdo them. It's always better to go in with a little bit less is more. But at the same time, then you're going through all that pain. But I mean, if you want to try it, try it. It's your body. Do what you want with it. And I mean, I've done it 3 times. I think it's fun. It's something I'm sure I will do again in the future. So why not? It's out there. So I've done lip plumping, I've done fillers, and I've done Botox. I've also had 2 moles removed, actually. One was on my face, so that's why I'm bringing it up. The one on my face, though, was not cosmetic purposes. I had it removed because when I was a teenager, I was always getting pimples that were growing out of that mole, and the agony was ridiculous. It was just, you couldn't squeeze it, and it was coming from, like, out of the mole, and it was just so painful. So I had a little mole here, and then once I removed it, I did like the way my face looked so much more after the fact. So I was really happy that I had it removed. It was just that I hadn't done it for cosmetic purposes, but I've had a mole removed here, and I had one that was right on my bra strap that I've also had removed because the bra strap would rub and rub and rub, and that one killed. So while I was at the doctor's on my last filler Botox, attempt, I talked to her about a mole on my stomach that really bothers me in the winter or when I'm traveling, because you know that I'm a girly girl. I wear dresses whenever possible. But when I do wear pants, and I have to wear pants, it sits right on the pant line, and it rubs, and it will like crust, and it gets really swollen and inflamed, and it hurts. So while she was examining it, she told me it's actually a 3rd nipple. So I have 3 nipples, apparently, and I'm going to show you guys. I put pants on under my dress, so that way you're not going to see any undies or anything. But it is right here, and I guess it goes right from the boob all the way down. So because of where the placement is, and the fact that it gets swollen, it is actually considered a 3rd nipple, and it is not just a mole. So I am going to have that removed in October, and I'm going to have a little scar there, but that's going to pale in comparison to the pain that I do feel all winter long and anytime I travel by car for more than really 2 hours and plane rides or anything like that. So I also use Latisse to make my eyelashes extra long and plump because I absolutely suck at using false lashes. So I apply a little drop a couple times a week, so it just helps boost the growth of the eyelashes. And I mean, that's not something I've ever hidden. People ask me about my eyelashes all the time. I buy a bottle of it probably twice a year. I barely use it, but I use it enough where I can get, I don't know if you guys see it or not on camera, but the lashes are like, they're really long. They essentially almost hit my eyebrows, but these are all mine. It's just that I do use Latisse. I don't do lash extensions or put on falsies. I would do falsies. I've tried so many times and I can't get them on. But I've done that, and I've done bonded hair extensions, which, I mean, I loved at the time, but I hated when I took it out because my hair was so broken. So I've done the whole bonded hair extension thing, clip-in hair extensions, playing with all of that. And then I actually had 2 teeth, these 2 teeth right here, that when I lost my baby teeth, those two teeth grew in, one tall peck and one little peck. No joke. They were like two mountain peaks. Kind of like the Gros and Petit Piton in St. Lucia. And I'm not kidding you. They were literally, they didn't look like teeth. They were totally disformed. So I actually have two veneers. The rest of my teeth are real. But those two are, I guess you would call them fake teeth, because they're my real teeth underneath. They're just like these little points. Maybe I'm secretly a vampire. I don't know. But even those are fake. When I was in elementary school, I had a growth on my elbow. And I had to have that one removed. That wasn't anything for cosmetic purposes. That was because we weren't sure if it was cancerous or not. And once it was removed, the labs couldn't figure out what the heck had grown there, and it came back and we had to remove it again, and it was just a mess. It exploded, it got infected, disaster. So when I told you girls earlier, or you guys, I guess, whoever's watching, about having insecurities, my elbow is actually one of them, because kids will point it out and other people point it out because it looks really funny. I have all this scar tissue now, and I'm not sure how well you can see it on camera, but it's so bad because of having to have 2 surgeries on it and how it exploded. So that is another thing about myself that drives me crazy, and I hate when I can catch people like staring at it, or they know that it's there or whatever. So just a little fun fact that's something else that bothers me about me. And everybody else thinks that my photos are always so perfect. Well, I edit them. I don't ever put anything raw on the internet. If it's a little touch-up of fixing an airbrush or needing a teeth whiten because the lighting was awful, and you know how it is, sometimes your teeth look really yellow depending if it's like bad flash lighting or it's nighttime or whatever, but I edit pictures, I use filters. I know most people do, but I mean, I am like that too. I don't want to put anything out there that's totally raw, so I edit. I'm realizing that it is really silly to edit any kind of pictures now that I'm actually YouTubing, because I don't edit any of my videos aside from any kind of cuts that I may need to make to like mesh it, you know, if my dogs all of a sudden start barking, because I just don't have that kind of editing software or capabilities or anything. So what you see on camera is me. This is how I look, but I'm sure I'm still going to end up editing photos because I'm also OCD and I wouldn't know how to let that go at this point. But I mean, you guys see me in person when I do finally make it to the Sioux or out and about in Lansing. So I mean, it is crazy that I edit, but here I am, editless, free? Well, I don't know, however you want to say it. And so I saved my confession, and probably the best for last when it comes to breast augmentation. So I know my besties already knew this, even though I denied it. You girls are all gonna want to slap me. But I have actually had 2 boob jobs. I know I can hear Sarah like Chelly right now. Like, I knew it! I can hear Riley, I can hear all you girls. The reason why I pretended that my second one was actually my first one was because I did my first one when I was 20. And that was a decade ago. So a decade ago, it wasn't huge in the Sioux, and you guys all know how close-minded Sault Ste. Marie is. And most people weren't having them done. I mean, now it seems like everybody's doing it, and it's so no big deal. But 10 years ago, it was a big deal. And my boobs were a major insecurity for me. I had one that was a full cup size bigger than the other, and the other was nothing. I literally wore water bras in high school. I bought the chicken cutlets. I would stuff those chicken cutlets in there. I'd get all sweaty, uncomfortable. I had the little ones for bathing suits. Like, I tried to do makeup shading tricks, push-up bras. I mean, you name it, I've been there and trying to make them look bigger. So I did it when I was 20. And I wanted to do silicone right from the beginning. I knew what I wanted. I didn't want that really fake looking type of boob. It just wasn't for me. But my doctor had kind of talked me into doing saline because I was so young, and he said most women at 20 want that more like, you know, stripper porn star boob that sits up higher and is a little bit more perky and almost more less natural, even though I wanted natural. So I thought he knows best, and I will change my mind and go with the saline. Well, I mean, I liked it more than what I had, but I was not happy with the saline. Even though I went under the muscle, which, I mean, if anybody's ever going to do, any of you are ever going to do a breast augmentation, go under the muscle. It's a little bit longer recovery period, but it really helps it look more natural, and it's the best way to go. But because I'm so petite, and you saw the bag rippling on the side, so I would bend over and you would see all the ripples, and I would move and you could almost hear the water sloshing, and they felt like water bags, and it was just, I mean, the ripples really bothered me, but it was just everything about it. I didn't like the higher, faker looking set. So a couple years later, I went and I redid it with the same doctor, and he did the silicone for me. And at that point, I then pretended that I was doing it for the first time because I wanted to stop hiding the fact that I had done a boob job. So I'm now really happy with them, and I, you know, redid it under the muscle and the same size and everything else, but I went with the silicone, and I've now had those for 8 years. So my advice to any of you is that research, research, research. I absolutely love my doctor. He was phenomenal, and I don't have any regrets on the doctor. But when you figure out what you want, don't let the doctor talk you out of it. If you really are adamant that that's what you want, then go with what you want. Go with the size. If you're torn between sizes, I really recommend going up. I kind of regret not going a little bit bigger. So that would be my advice to you guys. But I mean, with anything, like I said, at the end of the day, it's your body. Who cares what anybody else has to say? I think all of this like cosmetic surgeries, procedures, and treatments taboo is crap, and we need to get over it and just own it and do what you want and be happy. So those are my confessions. I hope you guys enjoyed and you liked this video and it put a smile on your face rather than tears this time. And I love you guys. Good night, good morning, wherever you are, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.